Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Chrono JJ. We are going into Age of Mythology Classics. Some old recorded games from long ago. Games that probably aren't as great as we remember, but they're always fun to watch. We weren't as good as we thought we were back in 2010 or 2003 or 2002 when the game had got out. But we got some old games for you. I think the first one, Hellsravage versus Adhafang, is from 2011, I think. And the other game, which will be next or second, is from 2003. An old one. That is pre Age Mythology, the Titans. That is probably pre you. For some of you, depending on when you were born. So thanks for joining me for this. It should be fun. I'm Chrono JJ. You probably know that, but if not, that's me right here. We're going to get into the first game, which is Hellsravage versus Adhafang. Unfortunately, is on Medit, which maybe isn't my favorite map, but it should be fun anyway. It'll be a good time. So let's get into it. It does look like everything's ready. Yep, it is. It's on. Hopefully. And we'll get right into game number one here. Hellsravage versus Adhafang. Kronos versus Set. That is some interesting civ choices here. Also interesting that Hellsravage decided to sit there for about 6, 7, 8 seconds at the start of the game and doing nothing. And he is our Set player in the red, building his dock there. And on the bottom right is Adhafang is Kronos. He is blue. Adhafang, very top player in his era. Typically played Greek. I wasn't aware that he ever played Atlantean, but here he is playing Atlantean. And it's Atlantean versus Set. Not only just Atlantean, it's Kronos versus Set on Mediterranean. Now, this was kind of before Kronos became kind of that water map tourney pick that we've seen lately in some of the Champions League games. Kronos wasn't very popular at all. I mean, maybe saw some 330 crushes, but didn't see him much. Now, this is the old maps. This is before any of the balance changes, any of the map script changes, and this is awful. Look at the chickens who's basically spawned on top of the gold mine. Like, this is terrible. As far as if I'm Hellsravage, this would really be frustrating me. You got the tower here to like cause pathing issues. You of course got the chickens. You got this woman who I don't know if she was supposed to start going to gold. I guess she did. But here she is. Now, is this working? Because I haven't had my notification come up that I'm live. Somebody let me know. It says I'm live, but maybe I'm not. Because usually I have a little notice that says you started streaming. Okay, alright, thanks. Alright, appreciate it. But yeah, this is very frustrating because now you're going to have these chickens up here that are cause pathing. Like, it's almost to the point where you want to kill them and then just hunt delete yourself, essentially. Oh, there it is. Now it shows up. But a little bit of unusual build, too, where at one point he had 6 on food. And now he's just building his lumber camp. A very strange build. Because I don't know why you would go to gold with 3 villagers before you went to lumber camp. So, and in fact, he's not even making... He's not even making any more fish. I wonder if he's doing a Vill rush here. Which... this is confusing me. I'm thinking he's going to be trying a Vill rush or something. Like, I don't understand what he's trying to do here. Whatever it is, it's not good. Like, normally you'd have villagers on wood, you'd be making fishing ships, and even if you're doing that, you can still age up and hit heroic by like 430. But that's really weird. Adhafang, on the other hand, is doing more of a normal build here. You got your Villagers on food. It looks like he's planning an age up after this one, so it'd be a pretty standard 430. But what Hells is doing here, I really don't know. But I'm thinking it's going to be a villager rush. Just based on the fact that he's only got 2 fishing ships here. Really strange. Which, maybe I'm wrong. But if not, I don't know what he's doing. Because this makes no sense. But Hellsravage, also a very good player. And still a good player. He actually still plays now. Like I said, this game was in like 2011. So it's been a while. There he is deleting his granary. Probably rebuilds, yeah. Builds another mining camp there. And now, if he's going to Vill Rush, he's going to send everything to gold. Alright, so this is a Vill Rush. I love it. It's kind of inefficient. He deletes the tower too. Yeah, the pathing is just awful. So deletes the tower. I mean, this is just such a awful gold mine placement with the chickens. Just so frustrating. Probably needs to build a couple houses. Now, the Vill Rush does tend to work against the Kronos because typically the Kronos is going to have his temple time shifted forward. We see here that's what he's got. He's also built a second dock, which is basically pointless because Hells is just going to let himself lose water. He doesn't care. He will have vision for his line of sight. We have Adhafang up. Oracles forward. This is the perfect situation for a Vill Rush. We're going to have... Yep, he's doing her. There's the vision. Vill Rush is going to come in. There it is. All the animals, all the villagers. And now... Yep, okay, so he's instantly going to send his Oracles of Promethean home. Did he make any boats, though? I don't think he did. Oh, he made 2. Well, that's good. So, alright, so now the full retreat, because you can't defend the town center here. You full-on retreat, which isn't bad. In my opinion, this isn't, like... This is definitely not the game. In fact... Adhafang should win, even though his town center is down, because Adhafang's gonna have full strength, full control of the water. Basically, all he has to do is find a gold mine to go to and just make Murmillo, and he should be okay. When you get Vill Rush, the problem you can run into is if you try to grab a town center right away, that's not the right play. The right play is to make an army first, and not like a huge army. But maybe like 10 units or so, something like that. Enough to defend, because if you just go straight... Oh, these villagers, though. He should have ran. He's gone. So 2 villagers dead. These 2 are risky. If Adhafang were maybe an experienced Atlantean, we did see him upgrade his towers too. He would probably time shift a manor up to his villagers. Okay, he got spotted, so he's probably going to lose 2 more citizens, which this is more citizens than what he should have lost. This is going to end up being 1, 2, 3, 4 citizens dead, which is more than what it should have been. In fact, it's not even like he's reacting at all. Now he reacts, but kind of too late. It could have time shifted like a manor up here just to protect them, or make like a transport ship. And a villager trying to run, but there is a hyena. Yeah, the Wadget does have a very slow auto target, but I don't know if it's slower than others or if there's a reason for it. But the hyena will finish this off. At least slow it down. Or... Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, even with these 3 citizens dead, Adhafang should be in a better position. I mean, look at all the resources he has. He is now... got what he feels is a large enough army to defend, which it is. Now he time shifts the manor over. Okay. And he's in a good spot. I would have liked to have seen maybe a few more Murmillo before it started being built, just to be safe. But it doesn't look like Hells is anywhere close to building any sort of army. I mean, he's just now getting his barracks. He doesn't have economy. He had to spend a lot of time killing all of these towers. I do recommend the tower upgrade. I know that in the end they all got killed, but I think it generally does 300 resources worth of damage. I mean, your villagers have to attack it, so that causes, you know, it causes a lot of idle time from your villagers. It might kill a couple. So I think it's worth it to upgrade the towers as Adhafang did. And we do have Hells at 2 town centers. Scouting something with this villager. And he's got 5 pigs left. And a few here. And then would have 1 chicken. And now I have a little bit of raid on the gold, on the villagers. Oh, there's a few low health ones. Got the 1. Will he get the 2nd? No. How did Adhafang do with his fish boom? Did he make a few more fish? I think it would be worth it for him to maybe throw down 3 more fish and get on this gold mine, as now he's got his town center. Adhafang did lose 3 villagers. A little bit of a problem. But he's got full control of the water. And just be annoying. I mean, you don't necessarily have to kill units here, but I mean, as long as the villagers are running, they're not gathering, and that's useful. Adhafang could potentially go for like a semi-quick heroic through Rhea, and he would get his free... He'd get a free behemoth and then be able to train 1 more. I wonder if that's what he's doing. It looks like he's maybe trying to save up for it. Because he stopped making army completely. But he needs an armory before he can age up. I think maybe he's forgotten that. Because, yeah, he's... Looks like he's planning to age up here. And, oh, we got a couple villagers. See, I don't think the play here, though, is to do a semi-quick heroic. I think you just make an army and fight. Because theoretically here... Here's the armory. Theoretically, Hellsravage could probably Vil Rush this town center as well. It would be unlikely that he would do it. But he, with where the army's positioned up here, he could Vil Rush that and get it down. I just don't think he knows that Adhafang is aging up. Because he hasn't scouted the armory. But like, if he were to see it... Yes, he's going for Behemoth. He definitely is. But I don't think that's the play. I think you can just overwhelm with units anyway. And be alright. And now he can't overwhelm, he can't even defend, you know. Because normally you would have so many more units, he would be winning this fight. And would be pushed off of pretty much any economy over here. But yeah, I think Hells should figure it out. And if I'm Hells here, I attack this. But he hasn't seen the armory. So maybe he's thinking no. But Adhafang is only 60... Yeah, he's about not quite 50% up. And now Hells has seen the armory. Which this isn't some nice... This is some decent... like blocking here as far as blocking a villager attack. But with 19 and 7... If Hells were to come forward and attack this, I think he would then win at this point in the game. It would be an easy win for him. But it doesn't look like he's doing that. Because even if Adhafang reaches heroic here, it's not like he's getting any units right away that are going to help him fight. He'll be able to trade her 1 unit, and he gets the Behemoth out. And I guess he has some army, but I think there was a window there for... But now he does it! So now he's coming forward for the Vil Rush. After he sees the age up. And we do have the trader on the Wadget. We have the villagers. See, nice armory. He might end up just killing the armory first. And coming around. And you got to get the slingers down here. The slingers will do pretty good. Because there's not very many Murmillo at all here. So he should be alright. Would like to see the Pharaoh down here. He does a lot of damage. There's no Axeman though. Now we have the villagers on the town center. This one attacking the hero citizen. The Murmillo are now almost dead. See, there's not enough Murmillo here. Oh, we got some infantry, mercenary infantry coming in. Hellsravage's economy, he's got nothing in the bank. And now the town center is down. And Adhafang pushed into a corner here. Now, I don't know, though, if Hells will be able to push through this. He actually is making a mistake here by falling back. If these villagers all come on this gold mine, Hells wins. Because that's the end of any... I mean, look at Adhafang's economy. He has no resources in the bank. If Hells comes over here and gets on the villagers, there's no more resources being gathered, and Hells would win. But falling back with the villagers, I think he thought he did enough damage with the town center, which is still a good play. I mean, killing that town center is really good. Keep in mind all of the fish here for Adhafang. So even though Adhafang is again at 0 town centers, he is now ahead in score because Adhafang at 73 pop, Hellsravage at 60. Adhafang has more population. Hells has no eco upgrades. Adhafang actually has hand axe and pickaxe, and idle times over here. Hells, okay, they're sending him up to the berries there. There's not a lot of resources left on the map. We have these Terma coming in for a little raid. The behemoth as well. Adhafang is making another behemoth. And, okay, nice little garrison through the town center with the slingers. They'll be able to do some damage. So this is why, right here, the one reason why Kronos and Gaia are worse than Uranos is the fact that Terma have a base speed of 5, which means they cannot dodge arrows. So that's huge, because the Uranos Terma against these slingers would win so hard. But non-Uranos Terma against these slingers here don't win, because they can't dodge arrows. And yes, you're right, Sigma. He can't make any more Behemoth because he lost his favor gathering. But yeah, look at these slingers. Just mowing down the Terma. And we have... I mean, he's going at the barracks, which I guess that's helpful here. And we've got this priest, 4 priests. And the slingers in. Not enough Murmillo. We need more Murmillo. The Behemoth coming back. They do have a slight regen. I think it's like 1 a second. But yeah, these slingers just mowing down the Terma. Now center getting grabbed again. I mean, he's just going to go pure slinger, I think. And he knows this town center is getting grabbed. Come down here. There's still only just 1 Murmillo. These slingers just... This is just a difference between Uranos and Kronos. The villagers coming down to slow it. You're going to need a few more than just 1. Okay, here comes 4 more. Slingers need to turn on the Terma now. Okay. Slowing down the town center. Grab. Slingers. Uh-oh, little Miss Micro here. You got to get on the Terma. Couple of mercenary coming down. Uh-oh, the Behemoth up here. The priest down there. They're in the wrong place, guys. You got to come up here. Oh, will they just trade town centers here? Priest coming up. I think the town center will go down because these are just classical age priests. It's going to be close, though. Oh, no, this one's got a ton of health. Okay, so yeah, this town center is going to go down. Just barely. Wow, that was so much closer than I thought. Barely down. The slinger's still here. 1 citizen dead. Still got some Murmillo. The priest can come down. I'd like to see a little bit better micro on these slingers here. Get them on the Terma instead of the Murmillo. And these villagers are desperately trying to build 2,000 health. You got to turn and attack it. Nope, just retreats. Okay, so town center up. This town center down. Hells, meanwhile, back here, gathering from the berries, really inefficiently. I swear, when 1 berry runs out, the villagers like intentionally run to the furthest berry. It's really weird. Hellsravage has no economy. Still just doing pure slinger. But Adhafang's economy now isn't anything to be isn't anything to write home about either, because he's not had a town center for so long. So he doesn't have a ton of villagers. Did make some more fish. Does have per sign. That's good. He is allowing 2 fishing ships up here. He might as well just deconstruct his dock. But he's saving deconstruct for something. And trader. He could trader 1 more slinger. So now Hells has... I don't know. See, I think the semi-fast heroic here from Adhafang, or just a straight heroic, is just a big mistake. He just make a big army. Like, if he just goes almost pure Murmillo with some Terma, he'd be so much better. Like, he can't win this. There's just too many units here. Too many slingers. And Kronos Terma just aren't good. So he's got to stay back. This is where you maybe want to throw up a palace somewhere. Another thing to note is that all of the additional town centers are on this side of the map. So that's going to be tough for Adhafang to grab town centers. He's probably going to need a transport ship to come over. And speaking of transport ships, so say he knew that all of this army was here for Hellsravage, which he knew. Could he not have transported his army / 2 behemoths up here and maybe, probably, most likely cleaned all of this out? And then he could come up this way and take this out, which it looks like that's what he's doing now. Which is the right play, because there's not enough villagers now to take this town center down, especially with the palace here. We'd like to see maybe this palace built a little bit closer to the town center to guarantee protection. But I feel like now, and he's got heavy Murmillo, they can come up here and do some damage. It would be so nice, and he doesn't have favor. He should be... It'd be nice if he had a behemoth, because then this town center would go down. But nice economy here now. It's starting to rack up some resources. And Hellsravage is at full pop. You see a nice little raid here. Armory. What the heck? Random building block. Just because they're on the same time as banned for controlling a tornado. Sure. And Cuddy Danks in the chat. Do you know that you can control the tornado? I probably shouldn't say this, but if you do control it, it causes the game to go out of sync. But there is a way to do it. You kind of got it. There's things you can do. But now I just told you a cheat, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But okay, so we've got the slingers coming up here to defend from this raid of the Murmillo, who are marching around having a good old time on this gold mine. We've got heavy Murmillo. But there are no armory upgrades. Would love to see a Pierce armor upgrade, because that would double their resistance, essentially, or almost. It would get them up to 19% Pierce armor, which would be really good. And now we do have some... How do I do it? I'm not going to tell you that people are going to do it, but there is a way. It doesn't work, because it makes the game go out of sync. Kind of eco upgrades we looking at? Just pickaxe, hand axe. And we do have Salt Amphora. But Hellsravage is starting to grab a bunch of town centers. And at some point, even though Adhafang has a better economy, he's going up Atlas. I feel like Helios would maybe be better here, because then you get a Hika Gigantes, which is also a siege inducing myth unit, and then you can also vortex around the map. Because at this point, our Adhafang needs to do something to get some town centers back. So he's going to be aged up to Mythic while Hellsravage is in Classical Age, as we see some boats being made. But Hellsravage is a long way away from Heroic Age. A couple minutes, anyway. Random little raid here. So what Adhafang needs to do is he needs... So Implode is very good against barracks units. It's like the only situation that Implode is good at. So what Hells needs to do, or Adhafang, he needs to pressure this town center and require Adhafang or Hells to come back and defend, and then suck up all of these units while he's attacking. And now, I mean, he might just do it now. Okay, I would have preferred to see it when he attacked the town center. So we're gonna probably see most of these units get sucked in. These units trying to get out. Okay, those two escaped, but the rest are gonna get sucked in here. Even a few villagers joining the fun. All the slingers. And you can see the numbers just diminishing. And what pops out? Nothing. So destroys that entire army. Hellsravage all the way down to 97 population suddenly. Now here comes a whole bunch of axemen. Or destroyers. But there's some axemen here to defend this. And axemen mow down destroyers. They got to get out of here. And see, this is why I would have preferred to... because then you would have also damaged the buildings as well here. If you would have used Vortex, or not Vortex, if you would have just attacked this and required Hells to defend. But now we've got the Argus. We've got all sorts of mercenary infantry being trained. And I don't know, though, if Adhafang is going to have the population space to put this down. Ooh, I do see, though, some siege bireme, and this town center is in water range. So if we get an upgraded siege bireme, he could knock down that one town center. Here come the axemen on the destroyers. I don't know if there's enough destroyers here to get this town center down. But I don't know if Hells has the resources to keep up the defense here. I don't think he does. Because he really doesn't have much of a food economy yet. He's got plow and husbandry. I guess he can't have more than plow or husbandry. He's still in the classical age. And his pharaoh has just come back. Oh, what is his pharaoh's name anyway? It's Boit again. Why does Boit keep showing up in my streams? So Boit is his... No, Shadoof. He doesn't have Shadoof either, does he? Shadoof. I like Shadoof because it sounds kind of dumb. Alright, so he pushes through anyway. And Hells probably should stop putting units down here because they're just going to die. And Hells needs to age up here. He's got a ton of resources in the bank. But he needs to age up. And now we're about to. Yep, he just clicked up with Nephthys. Nephthys should probably be able to hold down here. I think what Hells needs to do is just fall back from this. Just accept that this town center is going down. Fall back and defend up here. Now, if Adhafang notices, he can upgrade his boats and destroy this town center. Now, this game isn't from 2003. It's from about 2010, 2011. Idle villagers here, all crossing their shoulders. They're crossing their arms. Hands on their hips. There we go. They moved. You noticed. Stream sniping. And this town center is going to be grabbed. And now Adhafang with the good economy. Got good fish economy. He is taking control of the water again. Oh, Hell's trying to get on it. Oh, the Arcus. Hitting on the Villies. Okay. Dock won't go up. And Nephthys is here. Yes. No, the boats aren't upgraded. They are not upgraded. They're just siege. They would be maybe heavy. Oh, but the Leviathan will clean all of this up here. Because siege biremes do terrible against myth units. So the Leviathan will actually clean that up. So Adhafang may be missing a little bit of an opportunity to get this town center down. So this game is close. Hellsravage did put all of its resources into an army again. He's getting heavy slinger, which will be really good in this situation. Another kind of random palace here. Get mining camps down. And Dock won't go down. So there is Leviathan. Now that's a good question. Or comment. It's just Jeff asks. Does the Argus special work on the Leviathan? I can't say that I've ever seen it happen. So I don't know if it's a valid target. I would think it maybe is. I don't know. Not sure. We got a market for Hells. He's at 140, 160 pop. Trying to secure this. He might be able to with because now that he's aged up, he has access to mercenary cavalry. And he just got fortified town center along with masons. So he's in good shape now to defend this. And he's also got ancestors for this first initial push if he needs it. Not a ton of axemen here. Now they come popping in and popping out on top of the destroyers. Yeah, Hells is going to defend this because these Arcus are just getting destroyed. But now Hell's got a micro. Okay, yeah, can't attack the destroyers with your slingers. That doesn't work. And micro maybe not quite where it needs to be, but that's okay. There's a lot going on, and we've only got one Arcus left. Only two axemen, but we've got again the mercenary cavalry. We've got the hammer ships just pouring out. I don't know. I think Hells is going to hold this because Hells is at pretty good pop, and Adhafang just doesn't have access to any pop room. I think his avenue to victory was getting this town center down, but now he's getting pushed off of water. He does have a trader left. Now he has no trader left. He's just tradered the Scorpion Man. Citizen. Standing here. No, it's almost like he forgot he had deconstruct. He could have deconstructed that Migdal here, but at this point, I don't know what Adhafang can do to recover from his population deficiency. His chance is to get on water and get this town center down. Speaking of which, I mean, he knows it's there, but he's never gonna push through this. Maybe Titan. The problem though is Hells. If Hells sees Adhafang hit that Titan button, Hells can just sit back and then age up with Meteor, and then he can Meteor the or Tornado the Titan gate. So I don't think the Titan is an option here. I think Adhafang's kind of out of options. I mean, decent armory upgrades. There's just Hells can just spam out mercenary cavalry and defend this for the rest of the game. I feel like. I mean, he's got because he has full control of the map. He has kind of limitless gold. He's still got 3,000 gold here, 3,000 here, 6 grand there. He's getting his market up. Adhafang is now pushed off of water. If this gets dicey, we still got ancestors here to use. Destroyers, I mean, there's no axemen here. I don't know why spearmen are getting trained. There's absolutely nothing the spearmen do well against here. So I think the spearmen are maybe a misclick. Yeah, I don't know why he's got that in there. And yeah, I mean, like fighting here does nothing for Adhafang. His only thing, he has to get on this town center. Now we have the ancestors just to kind of solidify this location. Got three Arcus being turned into hero. I mean, they'll take the ancestors out. Game here. Adhafang just didn't quite play it right after the Vil Rush. And he has kind of cleaned up now on water. This Leviathan is still alive. Crazy. Adhafang just fighting at pop. I mean, he doesn't have, though, fortified town center, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why he doesn't have that. He's got all of his population is on water, actually. Yeah, his only chance still is to get upgraded boats and kill this town center. It's the only way. But I don't think he's quite put that together. That's in range. Because he's making Siege Barrier again. But until he gets that upgrade. Uh-oh. This might be game right here. The big raid on the villagers. This might be the game, because where is Adhafang going to get his gold from with this raid over here? Is the stream lagging? It better not be. Dang. Why is my stream lagging? Does show that I'm lagging. I think it's my internet. Weird. Because yeah, my game's not slowing down at all. Comcast internet, really good. Always really good. He's got control water. I think he's trying to get a Titan Gate here. Yeah. Secret of the Titans has just been clicked. Kind of his last hope here. The funny thing is, though, at this point, I don't even know if Hells would even need to age up. He could probably just push through at this point. Like, really, at this point, what's to stop him from just... look at all these guys. What's to stop him from... Dang it. I am dropping... Hold on. I'm just going to pause this for a minute here. We'll pause. We'll wait. Alright. I think it's better now. So we will go back to the game. And we will just cut that out of the YouTube upload later. But anyway, alright. Better now. Alright, little pause. Get the internet sorted. I think we're okay. We've got Adhafang getting Secrets of the Titans. Where does he put it? Probably just right here. These villagers have nothing else to do. Adhafang has no way to get gold. Put that Titan Gate down in 10 seconds. Oh, don't lose your villagers, though. You need every villager that you can to build this thing. Alright, hurry up. Hurry up. Time's of the essence. See, I don't even know if he wins if he gets this gate up. Oh, whoa. This is not where I would have placed it. Oh, no. The chariots could just kill all these villagers. Maybe. Why did he put it here? Why not there? Oh, that's so bad. I guess in the end it's okay. So what does Hells do? It looks like he is no stranger to technical difficulties. Yeah, real weird. Hit that button. It looks like Hells is trying to age up here. He's got so many like useless units just sitting around. So I actually don't know if Hells is going to hit the Mythic Age in time to use a god power on this. However, he's sending all of his units down, including villagers. Which, with where this Titan Gate is placed, the villagers can get on the Titan Gate. And Adhafang has no way to replenish his units here. He has nothing in the bank. I guess he's got a tiny little bit. And this Titan Gate placement might have actually cost him the game here. I mean, I don't know if he would have won anyway, but why not right here? If it's here, these villagers can't attack. Here comes more villagers. He is. He's finishing it with a villager rush. Let's see. Do we have more units coming in? All right, we've got a ton of units pooled up there. We're at 70% with the Titan Gate. More villagers coming down. Oh, what are they doing? Are they coming? Are they not? The chariots are targeting the villagers. Another one goes down. Villager, see, like the palace just isn't quite in range. 85%. He's building 87. We can see it going up in the corner here. But now there is literally no unit there. Why did he put it there? Why not here? Like, just the distance of this much would have changed how this would have happened. Well, you couldn't shift the palace. It's 600 resources at this point to shift it, and that would not have done. Why not put it here? Why there? Now, I don't know if that would have been enough to, like, say this Titan would have gone up. Would he have won? I don't know if he would have anyway, but it would have certainly made the game a whole lot more exciting. Holy cow. Begins with a Vil Rush and ends it with a Vil Rush on the Titan Gate, and that does save the game there, hypothetically speaking. And that is the game, a funny one. Yeah, I don't think even with the Titan, I think he wins anyway, because realistically, Hells could just slowly let the Titan wander around over here, while Hells could just come forward, because, I mean, he's going to have no population space with a Titan up. But a funny game there. Funny game. All resources. We can see Adhafang way ahead. Just the play isn't to go a semi-quick heroic. You can win by just staying... You can win by staying classical here. After you get Vil rushed. Get this town center. What he could have done, too, to get all the way over to here is just transport ship villagers over here to grab one of these town centers if he would have needed to. But a fun game. That was enjoyable. So the next game that we have for you guys will hopefully be enjoyable as well. Hold on. We're going to do a little bit of a pause here. Or maybe RyFang. RyFang, you round? I saw. Oh, there you are. You're in the chat. We're going to go way back in time for this second game. Like, legit way back in time. We're going to go all the way back to 2003. Which is really cool when you think about it. Like, the fact that we have recorded games from 2003 that we can watch. Like, it's such a window into the past. And theoretically, 2003 was Age of Mythology at its heyday. It was Age of Mythology. That was Age of Mythology at its highest activity ever. It was the 2003-2004 era. So you could say, oh, man, that's when players were the best. Well, no. But they all thought they were the best back then and knew how to play and were perfectly playing it, but it wasn't true. But that's when we had the biggest tournaments in the Age of Mythology were back in those days. So hold on here. I'm going to try to get my Discord to work. And I'm muted. I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. All right. I was the best back then, and so was RyFang, who is joining me for this little kind of nostalgic, reminiscent walk to 2003, pre-AOT. This was the era of the World Cyber Games. And I don't know how many of you even remember the World Cyber Games, so let's go on a little bit of a tour. You Google World Cyber Games. Do you remember World Cyber Games, RyFang?
I do. It was like the biggest AoM tournament ever. So, and it was kind of a big esports event at the time.
Yes, it was. World Cyber Games was kind of like a generation ahead of its time. it was basically a worldwide event where and it wasn't just Age of Mythology or Age of Empires 2. They had events for like Warcraft, Warhammer, um all sorts of different games. I think FIFA was one too, and Need for Speed, and they would do these national tournaments and fly all these players in, and then they'd play this tournament, and then they'd like upload it to YouTube at like 128K or something that you could barely even watch. But let's go back. I'm going to show you guys. We'll pull it up on stream. The World Cyber Games 2003 bracket for you guys, where first place was $20,000, second 10 grand, 5,000 for third, and fourth it says didn't get any money, but I'm assuming they got some money. And look at the player names here. 2003. Oh, I'll get you the link, RyFang, so you can look at it. But so they were divided up into groups here. And like I remember some of these players, most of them I remember. Not all of them, but most of these are names that like start kind of washing over me, and I'm like, let's see, in 2003 I was 15, and that was when I started playing AoM. Looking at these players, I'm like, I remember them. You got the oh, the link. Yeah. Let me get you the link in chat too. Sorry. Where am I? So World Cyber Games, that happened, I think, right before I moved from Age of Empires 2 to Age of Mythology. But yeah, so it's divided up to group stage here. Right, you remember a lot of these names, RyFang? I don't know.
I do. I'm laughing. Even some of them, I think, like Chris is still active in AoE too.
Yes, they are. Like K-Pot still plays AoE 2.
Oh yeah, he was in this too. Yep, he
Yep.
streams AoE 2 daily.
Yeah, it's just so weird how like some of these players still doing the same thing.
Some of them I always wonder what happened to, like the what was it? I forget the clan. I'm
El
blanking
Clan?
on the clan name, but no, it wasn't El Clan. It was
EX?
they had like a few random really good players, like 2 or 3 super high level players.
TOAO?
No. Oh, I'll think of it one day, but yeah, no, they're just you see some of these players and they're still active, and you kind of always wonder what happened to some of the others and what they went on to do.
Yeah, so Hope, yes, Hope played Age of Titans. Some of these players played Titans, not all of them. Titans was not well received by the competitive community, and it drove a lot of people away. Also, what hurt is that Titans didn't have World Cyber Games. I think if Titans would have had World Cyber Games, you would have seen a lot of these players coming back. Champ, yes, Champ. I beat Champ occasionally, but I had a hard time with Champ beating him. But yeah, these names all pretty interesting. Was it Moore Clan you were thinking of? MOR?
No.
I think. But you could. It's really cool. You can see like these. You can see where these players are from, and some of these players like I have never heard of.
Oh,
like,
Matt. It was Matt, I think. Matt is.
Oh, Mad. Yes, they had Mayamato.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of.
A couple others, but like, who is this guy? I think this guy was just lucky to be born in Australia. Kinnear. Never heard of him. He was probably like the only Age of Mythology player in Australia or something. Because never heard of this dude, and clearly he got his butt kicked. Here. But yeah, interesting little group stage here. Now I'm kind of confused, and maybe someone in the chat who remembers. Where's Salska on this? Because the game we're going to watch is involving Salska, and he was one of the best players, but he's not on here. I think he was from Taiwan, maybe? So maybe he got beat out by the other Thai players? Like, Shayats was like one of the best AoM players.
Yeah, that wouldn't either. He could have not signed up, or like you said, yeah, Shayat's finished second, so I mean, losing to him in the qualifier would have been completely acceptable.
Was Salska French? I don't think he. Maybe he was. So if Salska's French, though, where does this Driz T dude come from? Because never heard of Driz T. Like, the who? But yeah, so World Cyber Games, it lasted from like 2001 to 2010. But it had Age of Empires 2, I think, for 2 years, Age of Mythology 1 year, and Age of Empires 3 1 year. But yeah, seeing these names, like I remember these names: J Cool, Rivero, Nyukum, Lapino. Like so many of these names, like I see this list and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm back in 2003, and like these are the players that like I wanted to be um, back then. And then we can look at the bracket here, so we can see Fire's our winner and beat Shayats. But yeah, you watch these games; they're so bad. It's laughable. Um, it was such a bad game state because this was when Set was like way overpowered. And
The one thing I did like about that style of game is there were a lot of like trading of just crappy fights you would never take in today's
yes,
AoM,
yes,
going back and forth. Literally, like players today, they boom, they float hundreds of resources. Back then, there were so many games where the players wouldn't even float 100 resources all game for 15 minutes straight.
yes, and the reason you can see, like, it was a direct descendant, I guess you could say, the meta of Age of Empires 2. And that's what AoM always got compared to. And a lot of these players came from Age of Empires 2. So there's kind of that groupthink mentality where they played it like that because that's how Age of Empires 2 was played. So these players all kind of treated AoM like AoE 2, where I guess in the end, and now that we've kind of seen it, it's not quite that's not quite the proper way to play AoM. But back then it was. It was just mayhem. Like just so inefficient battles and trades. And I remember like you'd just be having like unupgraded slingers and spearmen fighting unupgraded slingers and spearmen, and it would last for like 15 minutes. And of course it was set, so animals were running everywhere. But I thought I'd show this. It's kind of funny, and he won $20,000 for playing a game, which isn't much, I guess, compared to now.
Well, back then it was a lot.
Yes.
Considering there wasn't the tools to drive viewership like there is today, and then just inflation in general.
Yeah, and I think another thing, and I'm gonna start setting this up, but I hope you guys. It's kind of fun to see
Of course,
that.
this was a yearly event for all of esports, whereas now, of course, you'll have 5 of these for various games every
Right.
weekend.
But I think another thing that contributed to kind of the meta in a way was like that obviously there weren't streams then. So you couldn't really have a whole lot of players watching a game and being like, "Oh, this is what happened." Like recorded games were gold back then. And a lot of the best players would never post their recorded games. So like a lot of the gameplay you never even got to see, which I think kind of held the meta back in a way because nothing, you didn't really learn from each other because other than playing games and watching your own games, there were some recorded games, like some players posted games, but I know there was like I think it was like Grunt was renowned for never posting any of his recorded games. Which why would he? Give him a competitive advantage. Let's see if I can get you the screen here without killing my computer. But do you have any other thoughts on this game, this era, this fine era of Age of Mythology?
No, I think if you follow every JJ stream, we have watched an old tournament before. I think where it was this off stream or did we stream it? Where the tournament that like early the first Titans tournament that a lot of money was on the line. Did you stream that or did we just watch it on our own?
I don't think I streamed it because it was so bad.
Okay, yeah. Well, obviously, when Titans came out, we've revisited that tournament that had the big money that you and I both won
Yes.
money in.
Every
That
game was a Titan
obviously
race.
quite terrible gameplay because it was just straight Titan
Yeah.
race, and obviously that's when the game kind of fell off. But yeah, I think classic AoM obviously for various reasons, was the better game.
Oh, I did. Yes, Raptor's right. I did stream the Isis mirror on Midgard, and then that's why the Titans just.
That was not fun to play. That was not fun to watch, and
it drove so many players away, and for good reason. It just wasn't fun gameplay back then. Yes, the Mr. Fix-It website. I remember that website. I actually was trying to find some information on it. Of course, it's long gone. And the confusing part, I never understood this. I don't know if were you familiar with Mr. Fix-It website, RyFang?
not off the top of my head, but if you jog my memory, maybe.
It was basically the recorded game, I guess, website before RTS Sanctuary.
Okay, I do not remember it then.
Okay, yeah, it was. Anyway, let's get into this game now. The people are getting restless, so you should be able to see the game, right?
Yep. Good.
All right, so it ends up being another Medit game here, and the reason I kind of saw it was because this was in a topic that was posted on RTS Sanctuary recently. It was kind of upped to the top, and so we've got a Loki war on Mediterranean, and this is a 2003 Loki war. So I'll be interested because I didn't see the game yet. But
this game or the game the topic was about?
Any of them. And so I'm kind of interested to see because all the comments were this was such an amazing game. I'm like, I'll be kind of interested to see, like, is it really amazing or is it like amazing in 2003 standards, which by today's standards would be completely obsolete.
I did watch the game that the thread was about. It took me like 10-15 minutes to get my vanilla patch so I could watch it, but I made sure I watched it, and I won't spoil that game, but it was, let's just say, a completely different style of gameplay than you would have expected given said gods. But the player skill level itself, especially the macro, was still just off the charts. Obviously, they were two of the top players at the time.
Yeah, and
the other game was, and this is as well. So
yeah, these are two.
Skill's still there, even if the meta was kind of a bit awkward.
These are two of the top players as well. So you got Salska, was a really good player for a couple years in AoM, and then you've got this random Smurf, which is what the topic was about, which was Mr414, who no one ever really knew who he was, and there was all sorts of rumors. Was he a StarCraft pro who came to Age of Mythology, or was he something else? I think he was probably just a top player that was just smurfing, because everybody smurfed. I mean, you would have, like, some players had, like, 100 names in the top 1,000, because there was no decay. It was just such a static leaderboard. But, like, so far, the build here that I'm watching, I don't think it's that bad. Like what we're seeing from Salska here.
Love the Ox stacking. I guess it's Loki, so not as critical as the other Norse, because his Ox cost half as much, but still, if you get that double efficiency, plus being able to hunt the boars is faster than
yeah, they're doing it down here, too.
You can use your Woodvilles to help kill the boars as well, so a lot of efficiency on both sides.
Yeah, he's even doubling up the ox cart with the villager. Like, I think like this build seems okay so far. I mean, I'm not a Norse main, but like compared to like nowadays, it seems pretty.
Oh, it's funny because when the wreck first started, I was kind of confused. Why is he like hunting wood on like the far side of his forest? But obviously, I didn't notice the boars initially.
Yeah, well, that's why. So I'll be really interested to see what kind of age time we get, because I remember it as being as quick as you could on classical age here.
Well, let's go remind everyone this is vanilla AoM, and as anybody who's ever watched a Boyd stream of vanilla AoM knows, there are no docks shooting arrows, so whoever ups first and takes that water advantage is gonna hold the water advantage. There's no retreating to docks to catch back up in vanilla.
So they spied each other. That is Salska. Okay, so he did make Mr414 made another. Oh, see, this is going to be really a slow age up for both players. So that's weird.
Stuff was always slow back then. I mean, I remember 6-minute ISIS classicals.
Yeah,
basically every game back then. So
because you don't have any shooting docks, as you pointed out, so it's going to be
I guess the thought
The
was
age
so
up.
you could tweak out more economy by aging up later, and
I guess.
you didn't have the 4-minute metas on the other side punishing you like you would now.
Yeah, because we got a 515 Norse here against basically a 515. Was the Loki bug? Do you mean the one that gave you a ton of favor? I think so. I guess we'll see. Is that what the Loki bug you mean, or do you mean a different Loki bug? So yeah, so far this seems, I mean, nothing crazy other than just they're advancing too slowly. We'll kind of fast forward for a little bit just to see what happens here.
Interesting, the god choice to advance. Obviously not what you'd expect today.
Yeah, 2 Heimdalls.
Sick.
Loki has a weird bug where her
why do you think they're going Heimdall?
I think they always went Heim. I don't remember the Hersier Forseti being a thing until
Kind of a spoiler, but yeah, let's just say there was 0 Herser play in the Loki game that the thread was Mr414 was initially about.
Okay, yeah, I don't. So that's why I'm almost positive everybody went Heimdall here, always, every time, because nobody valued the Hersier raids. Like, I don't remember any like Forseti play back in those days.
Well, the healing, you'd think the healing would still be helpful in terms of saving and regenerating units. I mean, especially since it can be used on boats. I don't know if they didn't realize that was a thing back then.
I don't know. You'd think so. But yeah, now we see just your normal boat fight in the middle. Dissect this micro here, which there's not a whole lot of boat dancing at all.
It does give the boat upgrade, but generally that boat upgrade is so expensive, and you get it by the time you can afford it. The water battle is generally decided.
Yeah, we've got what, 2 docks versus 2 docks here. So yeah, just a Conloke popularized the Forseti boom, but was that after? I'm almost positive that was after AoET, though. I don't think it was in AoM. Well, because I guess you couldn't do classical age.
Nice dock raid, getting a lot of damage in on the dock and free favor.
Yeah. I know they originally, boats used to get a ton of favor. This might have been after this patch, because it doesn't seem like they're getting a ton of favor rolling in. Maybe they are. They had to nerf the favor generation. You now see they're kind of both mutually now kind of going to land. And eco upgrades, hand axe, pickaxe, and nothing for Salska. He's losing some Hersier here. Yeah, everybody said this game was just amazing, so we'll have to see with this game. It ends up being amazing or not. Out of
like Mr414 has been winning water, and he just got a free pick or 2 on land with those boat misplay plus 3 Valk, so kind of in his favor.
He's got 7, 8, 9 boats to like 5 or 6. So Salska kind of going forward now like this, but he can't quite win fights yet.
Semi-forward base is also tricky to hold versus the semi-home base.
How many dwarves he got on gold? This guy's not even making dwarves here. He's got like 4 dwarves on gold. This guy is more. I feel like Mr414 is like at least more effectively playing it, but I think he's a little, as far as like economy management, but he's a little bit behind on the military production now on land.
I wonder if, now going back to the god choice, I wonder if it's the myth unit of being able to like possibly a higher favor trickle from ships, like you mentioned, and the strong myth units, especially if the heroes wasn't that strong of a meta. The myth units become stronger.
One big change that I don't think a lot of people realize is that when Titans came out, they made myth units cheaper but weaker. You see a big fight here. I mean, they're weaker in that they now do a penalty against heroes, whereas in vanilla, they don't get that penalty. They do full damage to heroes, so we can see that Salska is cleaning up this fight here. Iron Jar coming out. Blowing those horns. But yeah, like these Iron Jars here don't get any damage penalty against Hersier. So this is an absolute cleanup.
Yeah, the only thing is the water is seemingly an absolute cleanup as well.
Yes, so water's a cleanup.
So if you wondered why it was such a slaughter on land, it's because one side went land and one side's been committed to water.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna let water winner rebuild in time or not. I do like the Vills sending him to the complete opposite side.
Yeah, I don't know where he's sending them to though. They're going somewhere. Spied Hersier or spied Ulfsark trying to sneak here. So do the myth units spawn faster here too? It seems like they might be.
They are getting a ton of procs.
Like it seems like they are spawning like crazy. And a ton of favor too. I think this is still where favor pooled a lot faster as well, because they're both at 100 favor essentially.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy.
We have the kill that tower.
I feel like he could just TP dive at the moment and the game would be over.
Yeah, there's no
number of Einhars he has.
Upgrade those bad boys. You getting the upgrade? Where's his temple? Way back here. The Salska's at full pop right now. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, and we're having a migration here for Mr414 is moving all the way over to the other side of the map. He's got water controlled, but if he can't hold land, what good is water? And this is a nice, yeah, we got what, 5 Iron Jar?
Yeah, push the TC. He's got like a 30-year army.
This
can kill the TC.
Just like watching Soup versus Soup. It kind of is. Yeah, he's kind of delaying his... He just needs to go in now. And now it looks like he is. Trolls will actually do some damage.
There are no
here.
heroes
no.
Mr414 to kind of clean up any of the myth units.
No.
Man.
But even so, that doesn't matter because the myth units would still do full damage to heroes anyway. And yeah, we see these throwing axemen are getting absolutely hammered up here. And Salska is gonna take out this temple, I think, or the town center.
I'm understanding the god choice more now.
Well, I don't know if he's trained any Iron Jar though. I think they're all just spawns. Because he has no forward temple. Town center's a little bit.
Trolls, the Valk. Yeah. He has cleaned up a lot of buildings, so I guess he did have a lot of time to farm.
Yeah, and yeah, the town center's gonna go down, but you can see that Mr414 hasn't lost any villagers yet.
The other thing to keep in mind is, remember when we checked eco upgrades to start the game, Mr414 had his eco ups and Salska did not.
Now he does, though.
Now he does, but...
Well, you can see Mr414 is kind of... he's stockpiling resources because he can't... Even though he's losing so many units and buildings, he can't replenish it in time. What?
How does... If you lose your TC in vanilla and are still classical, can you can rebuild one TC?
Yes.
Okay.
So here we have it here.
But
this really sneaky spied Ulfsark is rebuilding this settlement over here.
Well, we're kind of spoiled a little. Supposedly a good back and forth game, but I'm still just not seeing how red comes back here.
I think maybe he ages up and attacks here. Maybe. I mean, he's gonna have to build this with more than one. Here's what boggles my mind right now: is he's building this town center with a spied unit, and like
tunnel vision.
why not? You can send. I know there's 2 wolves or 2 lions. I mean, guarding this Ulfsark, but send some.
Oh my god, the Ulfsark's at 8 HP to boot.
Yes.
That Ulfsark completes that TC.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. Now TCs do build faster in vanilla compared to Titans.
That thing is coming up super fast, especially for one Ulfsark.
No,
it's gonna get up.
Yeah, it's gonna get up. This 8 HP Ulfsark that's spied. Building this town center, playing one of the best players in his era.
I don't he's. How are you not even checking that?
I don't know. I have no idea. And
I know he's on no TCs and gonna be trying to rebuild one somewhere.
Oh, finally the boats come in to help out a little bit here.
Boats are huge on this map in terms of limiting movement or making movement a pain, and even just reinforcing units. Like you have to waypoint out of the way and then do 2 actions to move them potentially, because if you just waypoint them directly, the boats pick them off.
Yeah, Mr414 is a ton of resources. I don't know. He might as well just build an armory and age up. Gonna lose his houses again. It's so obnoxious. No iron jar upgrade though. Yeah, he needs to sit on this here. He could probably kill these military buildings. Yeah, I don't know why.
Just be tossing the houses down along the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like, why? I mean, I guess when a lot's going on, it's easy to make stupid mistakes. Like, yeah, if he would have built all of these buildings along the water, you know, no big deal. Like, think of trolls doing full damage to heroes. Like, that's so good. That's so good. That was it. Because yeah, there was a ton of kind of behind the scenes changes between Titans and AoM vanilla that a lot of people don't realize changed. Actually, it looks like trolls do have a penalty here, maybe. This is legit a pure myth army now. We've got 2 hearse here. And the rest is all myth units. Hey, now we got these houses being built next to the water.
Is he popped? Salska popped?
110 of 105, so yes. He's also...
What happens when that gold runs out?
Right! Uh-oh, we're up north. Uh-oh. Where are the trees getting used? Oh, come on, don't waste your time.
This is the thing, though. He's had that water, the fishing, food eco the whole game.
Yeah.
Salska kind of just has a limited number of farms and no other food upgrades, so...
That's that first sign. Uh-oh. He's making a full circle around the map. He's about to start off where you end where he started here. Villagers got to run. We still got undermine and trees for over here. Now this is, remember, the dumb trees that can't be controlled. So you can just spawn them and then they're going to just run around and do nothing. And Mr414 is rebuilding his base town center. Oh man, he's grabbing the base town center. Okay, here come the trees. I don't think they can hold this against all these myth units though. Oh, villagers in too.
He doesn't really have reinforcements like to back this army up because he's halfway across the map. So if the trees do clean up enough, he kind of red holds if the trees do work.
I don't think they will. In there, survive. They do decent damage to myth units here. It just depends on what they automatically attack. Oh, here comes.
Oh yeah, he's gonna hold this easy.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
This is kind of game.
Yeah, because Salska sent in all his villagers here. And he's got to retreat
massively
back.
behind on eco, behind in age, and now just got down to TC as well.
He is aging up north, though. Also aging up, but yeah, that was kind of a fail attack there. He's got to retreat. Oh, he is picking off these villagers as they run back. Because Mr414 has so many resources in the bank here. Those trees tanked a lot of damage there. Did a lot of work. Man, I love these farms. These farms really entertain me. Now whenever anybody makes fun of my farms, I can show them this and tell them this is what one of the best players used to do. So, knock it off. Uh-oh. Get some villager raids here. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow the score is still, like, really even. I think it's because of all the kills that Salska's gotten. But I don't know how he's gonna turn this around. I mean, no water.
Curious what eco-ups are?
Just the first line. As we see, undermine on the town center. I don't think there's maybe enough units here, though, to kill this.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Ooh, having a few units.
Oh, mountain giant, though. Oh, iron giant.
That changed quickly.
Uh-oh. There he goes. Baboomski. Oh, no. I think the town center will go down. Yeah. The Herseer spawns and repairs the farm. And, okay. It's down, and that's GG, just like that. Well, that's quick. Undermine on TC. Hey. What was that game that you were...
It literally came down to letting a 8 HP all build your back TC.
Yeah, I know.
Keep an eye on it.
If he prevents that, he never reaches heroic age.
If he just he was so far ahead on military on land. If he just sits on all 6 TCs, there's no way he loses.
Learn math with me. What game were you talking about that I should download? Maybe we can...
Oh, you want to watch the other Mr414 game?
No, there was another one that's supposed to be like maybe it's the most downloaded recorded game. Which is also supposed to be pretty good. Wasn't quite as wild as I thought. Oh, what's this game? Okay, is that what I'm supposed to download here? That one is bad. Alright, well, I'm not going to do that one then. It's a spotlight game, though. How can it be bad? Huh. Let's take a look at the resource difference here. Not that one. The one you linked isn't bad. Is that decent? The top AOTS one is bad. Oh, well then let's just download this one. I don't know if this is one. Did you download this one from save file? Alright. Let's put this in the save game as well. Was this game pretty decent? Did you watch this one? Do you know? RyFang?
Oh no, I just watched the Mr414 versus Fire one. That was the topic of the thread.
Oh, okay. Well, let's jump into this one quick. I could do one more. All right, oh, this is from MFO. We're talking about Mr. Fix It Online. Here it is. Right there. Then uploaded to Age of Mythology Heaven. Back when Age of Mythology Heaven was also the Age of Mythology community to be in. Now it's just kind of a shell of its former self. It was too bad. Age of Mythology Heaven. I don't know if you remember. That was a legit site back in the day.
It had a lot of functionality for the time.
It did. There was a lot of information on AoM Heaven. All right, let's do another one here. Again, it's the same two players, 414 versus Salska on Anatolia. And is it another Loki mirror? Oh, Loki versus Set. Okay, MrRa is not MrRa at all. He's Mr. Set. So up on the top right, do I have my screen up correct? Can you see? You guys can. Okay. So Set, back in the olden days, ruled this map because of the fast converting boars, which could kill everything. Where did he use vision? So he knows where the dock is. He's coming the hyena down here. I think the old Sark will get the dock up in time. Now this is weird. Are you noticing what I'm noticing, RyFang?
Don't think so.
Where is MrRa's dock?
Oh, there is no dock.
He's not making one. Oh, he's trying. No, he didn't quite get here in time. But I think this is before the animals got a attack decrease against docks too, so he could actually kill this dock by the time Classical Age gets up.
Does he go for a delayed dock?
Became an Iron New Worship website. It did kind of. You're right. He was kind of a legend there for some strange reason. I don't know what he's doing. Like, this is weird. Now, so this is very strange. He is doing a delayed dock. The old 1.5 minute dock.
I wonder if it was so that he could get a house up sooner and not get popped in order to maximize the animal conversions.
I don't know.
Without idle TC time.
I mean, you could just build a house. You see a lot of matches where people play Norse and then end up losing. Where would I rank them? In 1v1, I don't think they are top, but they are certainly competitive. The thing with Norse is that they have a few things that you can kind of abuse. Yes, 9.6 attack. Crazy. Crazy. But, like, Norse really have a hard time with the rock still on, like, Oobly. And then a decent Ra player will just abuse that. But don't get me wrong, Norse are competitive. You can do well with Norse, and I think they can do better than even what kind of players have shown. But we've seen some more success in tournaments. We see all these villagers coming down to get at this.
They do so much damage, they're forcing the vills to completely relocate.
Yes, look how much damage the dock has gotten hit already. It's crazy. What I like is this gold mine right here. You can't even gather from it. Oh man, that is funny.
Food version of the Gaia Forest.
Man, don't let John Arbiter see this. You would freak out. Oh man. So yeah, he's got to come. Oh, now some really bad idle time here. And yeah, delayed dock. Weird build from MrRa here. And nobody's docking on the top left either, which is a little bit weird. Like now he's floating 130 wood.
Oh my! The other thing I just realized is that TC in Water Rage.
This one is, yes.
Oh, it's been forever since I had to think about that on this map.
Yeah, I kind of miss that a little bit. It just needs to be fair. But yeah, it used to be a decent amount. Can't lose your boar like this, though.
Yeah, he's forcing a bunch of idle time.
Yeah, but what you could do, I mean, if he's got... where did his other boar go? He should have 3. Like 3 boar and the hyena, he'd come in and kill all... Oh, probably 2 or 3 villagers here. Oh, looks like he's grabbing the wolves now. Oh, here's the other boar. He's checking the top to see what's going on up here. I like MrRa's build here. I'm going to have to use it. He's only got 300 wood right now at the 4.5 minute mark. And not close to aging up. This is a good build. Rules is going to age up. Again, it's crazy to see these slow age ups. It's bonkers. And again, I think it's probably a result of Age of Empires 2, which was a slower paced beginning of the game. Yes,
a little bit of this though is this stupid archaic boar pressure that normally
Yes.
wouldn't exist. He's had quite a bit of idle time having to defend against boars, killing his dock a minute into the game.
Yeah, that slows him down a little bit. Uh-oh. I don't think these guys are going to build this dock, though. And the conversion times are so fast as well. That was also another thing that got nerfed. You gotta have all these villagers in here to protect. Oh man, that's just so funny. Are you copy pasting True Loki there? I mean, it is true though. You can't compare. Oh, that's Lorenzo. You can't compare players from different eras because it was just so different. I mean, knowledge changes everything. And now at this point, we've had 20 years of kind of meta perfecting. And now you're going to have all these units come in. Do they take the fight? Don't they? Okay, yeah, they'll take the fight. And the units will run. And MrRa is sporting his 6-minute, 15-second advance. Now what does he do? Now we have the push on these docks here. Yeah, this is really strange play from the set here. Really strange play. Oh, there's a question. Where did Keen Flame go? He's still around. He's just moved on to other stuff. What exactly he does now, I don't know. Looks like we're now going to transition to a all-out boat fight. But MrRa in a nice spot here because he's got the top water all to himself. Animal army coming down. Who is Lorenzo? Lorenzo is aka IR Noob, who is a player who is pretty vocal. Which, oh, he shifted. Man, look at that! The villager shift. Look at that.
3 and Ox. I guess it's a Loki Ox, but still a lot of.
Well, the ox cart doesn't count towards the civilian.
Is that dwarf gonna escape?
Yep, he gets out of here. What a tough dude. But yeah, I like this. I mean, this just goes to show that the villager shift has been around since 2003. This random pressure where the Hersier are all gonna die to. Yeah, the Hersier spawn must have been different. Because these dudes spawn as soon as they hit, like, 5 times. They must have nerfed that. I don't remember that nerf, but it must have happened. Because these Hersier attack, like, 6 times and they're spawning a unit already. Quite a bit. Oh, I think it... Did the longboat contribute to the spawn, maybe? Maybe that was the bug, or one of many, where longboats fighting might have contributed to that behind-the-scenes Hersier spawn.
I do not recall this way past my memory range.
Slinger Dude is confirming that the longboats contributed to the spawn. I believe that's what he's confirming at. So that's why they're coming out so quick, is because these longboats fighting are contributing to this favor pool that the Hersiers are spawning from.
But the last game we watched, they were also seemed insane, and he wasn't really fighting at water at that point.
But he had some that were fighting. And so they were coming right away when the...
It seemed like even later in the game, they were still just crazy. Like, he still had a pure
no,
myth unit.
I think it was mainly early on that it happened. Because like we saw here, it had to have been, because these Hersier didn't attack anything on the way down here. And as soon as they hit once, while these longboats were shooting, they spawned. So it must have been from that.
Yeah, I agree with Chrono.
Wait, who's this? Is that Quinta?
Eh?
Well, what are you doing sneaking in here?
I'm listening to the greatest AoM caster of all time. Duh.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
yeah. RyFang, take the compliment. All right, we got the X-Men here, and we got the wolves and the boar. I tell you what, though, the one nice thing about vanilla AoM, which still kind of persists to this day, is it's a lot more aggressive.
I like that you can't take the TCs immediately, so you actually have to fight to some extent instead of just going straight boom.
Yeah, I think time has shown that town centers are too good for what they provide, as we see this big fight here. And I think... well, there's no heroes. Pharaoh died, so these Einerjar will live for a while.
Surprising, like going against Loki wasn't making priests.
Yeah, well, now they come. A little bit late, yeah. And yeah, Hersier are spawning again because you only got like 2 Hersier there, but they're spawning because the longboats were attacking on the water.
Which part of the meta is more broken, the Thad animals or the Loki myth unit spawns?
I don't know. Yeah, see, that's what's kind of funny about this era is you could say like this was completely broken, but both of these civs had something that was completely broken. Like, I turned away from the screen for like 3 seconds, and when I came back, there was like 4 more Einerjar there. They just come from everywhere. Oh man, he needs a few more. He needs to start fighting with his longboats again. There they are. So now they're fighting, which means we're gonna get even more myth unit spawns up here once the Hersier start attacking. Yep, here comes another one. Oh man, that is crazy. They just keep coming. Now these towers in the town centers though are kind of ripping all these growing axemen apart.
So if he didn't have those towers, he'd be dead. If he were another civ and hadn't upgraded him.
Yeah, you'd never be able to do this against Set now. Here's the Pharaoh. It's the Joser, the second, who's promptly gonna die.
Not very good waypoint control.
No. No, well, they want him to survive now. They were attacking him, and
seriously, there's one here, like, or 2 heroes there, and they just spawned another myth unit.
Yeah, it's crazy. They just come from everywhere. This is awesome. Like, it's so broken and so stupid, but it's also awesome all at the same time. I love it. I don't know what Mr414 is going to do at this point, though. I think he's... surely he can't hold this. See, grunting from the villagers as the Einerjar blows his horn. Like, is he gathering gold anywhere? No. He has nothing.
He's lost too many vills at this point to even come back.
Yeah, surely it's over. Because he can't even make any heroes now. Not that it really mattered when he was making them, they just died right away anyway.
You're winning water on the bot, but now that he's been knocked off both of his golds, he obviously lost
now
bot.
He's done. And
oh, with the top fish, just all the free myth units were too much.
I forgot.
Good.
I was just saying, I forgot that was the bug with longboats contributing to the favor pool. I tell you what, that would make Loki, like modern day Loki, people complain about Loki being bad on like Medit. Like, if they had that bug now, Loki would probably go from like all of a sudden top tier maybe. Because you just make 2 Hersier and then all of a sudden your longboats are just spawning myth units on land. Oh, Joser comes out again. Oh, look at him. He's cleaning up the myth units now. Sneaking onto this gold mine. MrRa is nothing. There's no way. I mean, I guess his Pharaoh could maybe single-handedly kill this entire army. But no, not anymore. Oh, slingers. Oh, 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 oh. Get him in there. There you go. The key is to not fight the water at all. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Oh, look at this garrison micer with
now
the Pharaoh.
He does the garrison micer.
Oh, man.
I swear if he...
Uh-oh.
Put some priests behind his TC earlier in the game. It could have
Uh-oh.
helped it quite a bit.
His villagers. Oh, he's checking all the gold mines now. Villagers getting spotted down here. Villagers getting spotted there. Well, that's probably the game right then. I think it's over. I think it's over. The last thing we'll check before we end the stream, assuming this game's over, which surely it is. MrRa is nothing. Let's just fast forward. It's done. There's no way he does.
How early in Nilla was this wreck?
I'm not sure. What I gotta do is I gotta take a look at the patch logs, and we'll be able to tell based on the patch log. Yeah, here come the Hellsravage or the Anatolia again, and MrRa is just resigned, man. This is like watching me play. Oh, he's up braggy, making a Wadget.
Is it Kronos Smurf?
Yes, he is a Kronos Smurf. Maybe I was. I think this is before I played. Come on! What is Blue waiting for? Just kill the man. Run on the 35 pop. There we go. Now it's over. Man, that was broken beyond belief. The 6 minute and 30-second age up here doesn't help.
Curious what the eco was. He probably slaughtered him with less eco.
About even.
Yeah, no, okay.
But the kill death ratio pretty decent here. So yeah, let's take a look real quick. The last thing we'll do before we end the game. I'm gonna find the list of patch changes. All right, here's the link right here. This is the link which will mostly be correct, but not completely. There, I linked it to you. So
I think you miscopied the link,
oh, I did.
or Twitch miscopied it.
It works
Part
for
of
me.
It is,
Try it again.
or at least for Twitch chat. I'm saying Twitch chat kind of delinked the end of it.
Oh,
You have to
did.
copy and paste the whole thing rather than just clicking the link in Twitch chat for some
Oh,
reason.
well, that's Twitch's problem. So let's see. What are we looking at? Patch 1.02 came out around December 17th, where a few Norse bugs were ironed out. I'm not seeing the bug. I don't know if it was considered a bug. I wonder if the longboats.
Yeah, it's in there.
Where is it?
Patch 1.05.
So we were talking.
No longer get bonus favor from longboats. This also means they don't contribute favor for Loki's free summoning.
Ah, so that was 4/15 of 03. So we know this game was played before April 15th, 2003, both of them. So I'm interested. It's funny that it took that long, actually. I thought it would have been sooner. So it wasn't until the 5th patch that they changed that. And that's a big change. Norse no longer get bonus favor from longboats. I wonder if that was intentional to begin with, or if it was a bug. But if we take a look at the early balance changes, is that Odin now gets his hunting bonus. I guess originally he didn't get it. And Thor's pig sticker now is better.
I'm gonna guess that was the intentional design, was to have all units generate favor by fighting. But what they soon realized is, compared to all other civs, the favor gather rate, especially on water, when you had the boats fighting nonstop, was just way beyond what any other civ could get.
Loki's ox carts are now weaker instead of stronger. Huh. That's weird. So originally they had more hit points. And then they just subtracted them to make it even weaker. Ready Cavalry have plus 10% pierce armor and hack armor. So they really were bad right away. Norse Longhouse now costs 110 wood of 130. Obelisk now costs 10 gold instead of 5. Egyptian barracks now cost 75 gold instead of 50. Man, imagine 50 gold barracks. And ancestors have 140 hit points instead of 180. Holy cow, those were strong. Hippicons train longer. Hellopolis have minus 15% hack armor. One more pop and have minus 50 hit points. This should discourage all Hellopolis armies in Mythic. And the thing is how strong they still are. Imagine that. Minus 15% hack armor from original. One more pop spot and minus 50 hit points. And they're still strong.
I don't even want to think about how strong they used to be.
That must have been broken beyond all belief. Holy cow. Because yes, they did have all Hellopolis armies in Mythic. Because it would kill everything. Because remember, this is also when units didn't have attack bonuses against Siege. Alright. 1.03 now. Ra was butchered, so to speak. A lot of bugs here. Egyptian first stage farming is slower. Plow restores the rate. So if you don't know, Egyptians actually start off with a minus 11% farming to their base rate. And Plow restores that and also gives plus 11%. So that's why Plow is so important. By numbers, it's a plus 22% eco improvement for Egyptian farms. And the reason they did that is because back in the old days, rain in Archaic Age was crazy strong for Egyptians. Ra's chariots have a smaller hit point, dropped from plus 20% to 10%. They now empower less. They used to empower at 20%. Holy cow.
I think I remember that.
Take a look at these numbers. Mercenary cavalry used to have 60% hack armor, 70% pierce armor as their base.
And people complain about them now.
And there wasn't even a limit on them. You could have an infinite number. 5 seconds shorter lifespan. Heavy chariot, camel, and elephant improvements are more expensive. Additional 150 gold. Wow, so it was originally just 150. Chariot speed decreased. Okay, yeah. And then the Cyclops has 50 more hit points.
Has the Cyclops ever been useful?
Not really. Rock speed decreased. It's dropped by 0.5. So originally it was even faster and had even more hack armor.
I noticed that as I spotted the Loki thing.
And then there's a throwing axeman attack was dropped by 0.5. I remember that being a very, very controversial change. Was the throwing axeman attack being decreased by 0.5. Fixed a bug in which flaming weapons made hammer ships 10 times too powerful.
I think I remember that.
Kraken is weaker. War Elephant buffed, plus 2 attack and plus 5% armor. Then that made War Elephants overpowered. And Priest do plus 2 more damage against Smith units. And then you had the Odin set nerfs. And now it's 11 o'clock. So I'm going to go to bed a little bit. But anyway, that was AoM Classics. A little bit of a AoM in history. We're looking at some really old games. 300 attack hammer ships. Yeah. So, thought we'd kind of go back in time and make this even. I know these casts are usually decently casual, but it was even more fun to kind of just
I'm laughing at how much of the cast was about balance.
Yeah.
Guess I shouldn't be that surprised.
Well, the game has changed a lot. And obviously, if you've only been playing the game a couple years, you haven't realized how much the game has kind of changed. But for someone like me, I missed the boat. What upgrade? But yeah, for morons like me and you who have never grown up and have continued to play. They fixed Loki. Oh, yeah, we mentioned that. They fixed it. So 1.05 is when they fix the Norse no longer get favor from longboats. So I'm just wondering, I guess I'm still wondering because it doesn't really say. Was that intentional originally or a bug? I don't know. I suppose we could check forums and see what people thought. What we need to bring back, though, is ESO expert chat. The arguments that would be raging in there every day. Oh, man.
I remember ESO expert chat. That was a fun time.
Yeah, and see, you were like at the end of it, too. It was always the same. We'd just go in there and rage all day. You couldn't set up a game in expert chat because if you tried, then somebody else who was reading it would snag your game in quick search. But,
yeah, I would always go in there after I would beat Sigma.
Trash talk him.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. I like to do these classic recorded games every so often. Usually pretty enjoyable. These games are older than normal because I thought it'd be fun to kind of go back. Generally, I kind of avoid these because the old games aren't as good as you might think they are. The quality isn't there to where you can really have a top level game because it was just played so differently. But in reality, those were the best players at the time when Age of Mythology was the most active. So, what do you know? I mean, it's ridiculous. You're right. I mean, it's fun in this one way, but it's kind of like more of a comical entertainment than like this game is so interesting, like it's so close, the players are playing well. It's just so like wild. Like it's a different kind of entertainment. But it's still fun. But all right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. RyFang, thanks for jumping in. And
thanks for having me.
Quinta,
Thanks for the flashback.
Quinta, thanks for mocking Sigma. We enjoy that, and he needs it.